Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County Council AG in conjunction with the Putnam County District Library. I know it can be an interesting time for a lot of educators at this point because it's almost time for school to get started. So we are this week going to take a look at Lumio for teachers. This is a site that can help you with getting some um, creative, ready-made resources with games, classroom tools, lessons, and just some examples that you might want to use in your classroom. So we're going to look at Lumia, which is found at smarttech.com is the address that you will find Lumia at, or if you just simply do a Google search for it. When you get to this, you can go to the sign up for free and go through. Um, you would want to make sure that you do and are using your school email address. But when I am already signed up here, I just simply go to sign in as a teacher, and then I would put in my login information, and Lumia is going to come up here. And right now they're doing this special with the whole deal with the monsters. So it's a theme that they've got going. So I'm simply going to say got it because I've already created an account. You can see that it has my name and it has given me a class ID. And what I will have here then is the ability to put information in my library. I have shared libraries in the Lumia library. Before I go any further with that, I'm going to go back. I just simply want to talk about with Lumia itself. So I'm going to put the Lumia up here in my search bar. And I just want to talk about real quick when it comes to the pricing of this. You'll see that you can have 500 meg of lessons storage for free. So I just want to show you how easily you can find some things that you might want to use that would be for free. But then there also is the ability to have unlimited for the $60 a year cost for a classroom if you are not in a district that would maybe um, purchase for the whole district. So I'm going to go right back here to the page where we're at, and we'll dive in here and look a little bit at um, what you're going to find. And what I'd really want to talk about today is what you can find in the library. When you go to the library, just like so many things, you can search for a particular resource. You can search all grades and subjects. Since we are talking about back to school, I'm just simply going to click on the one that has to do with back to school. But I am going to scroll down so you can see all of the different information here. We have anything from carpet time with kindergartners up to number lines. And even if you do anything that has to do with the Tinker coding, all of that's available, fractions, many items here that are available. That's the big thing that I want you to see today is what all is available that you could actually maybe implement into your classroom that's already created. So if I click on the back to school with this brain break here, notice what we have here. I've got back to school emojis is another one. I'm going to click there. When I go to my back to school emojis, then what I would want to do is notice I've got all my slides here going across the bottom. Talks about your school day, all these different slides. If I click on this and I say save to my library, this is what I want to do because I want you to see how you could actually make this your own then and have the ability to make changes and to work with it. So while it's saving here to the library, um, again, across the top right here, you have my library. If you notice, I already had placed one thing in my library. And also make note here, this is the downloading. So when it talked about the amount of space you have that's for free, this is where you can see how much space something is taking up in your actual library, because that's where, um, if you're using it for free, you would want to maybe put something in your library, and then you're going to want to take that out of your library in terms of using up the amount of free space. So I've got here with my Mac back to school, and I can start using it or I can go to edit. I'm going to go to edit so that you can see what I can work with and do with the actual template that I downloaded, because across the top here is where I have my different icons for what I can change. So I can click here, I can, if I were to pick a color, and now I can draw on this particular um, first, first slide of my templates. I can erase um, what I have. If I don't like that, notice I'm drawing over top of what was already there. Same thing, I can add. And I can even add like different images if I would want to. So if I wanted to stick this image here on, I could do that. And then the one thing that I find particular helpful is I can go over here and see the icon here with the person that looks like they're speaking. If I click on that, I can actually record. So I can click here, I can say start recording, and I could simply say, please make sure today that you've completed the first 3 slides, or whatever my directions might be. And those would then be included for the student as they see them. And then I can also go here, and this converts the page to a handout, to a group workspace, or to a whole classwork whiteboard. So if you have a whiteboard in your classroom, perfect, because now all of a sudden you have this already made template that you can simply share and use. I do want to make note too, is if you, depending on what school district you might be a part of, um, these can integrate right in with your LMS. So if you're doing anything where you're using Google Classroom, or if you're using Schoology, any of those LMSs that are out there, these can integrate right in with those as well. That is really what you're going to find and see when you're doing and using anything with um, Lumi. I'm just simply going to click here to finish editing. Like I've made my changes. I've got it the way that I would want it to use. And then what you're going to see here is if this is now I have went to my library. So I went to Lumi Library to get any already made up templates, which there's thousands of templates and stuff already available in there. And then the ones that I want for myself, I've put in my library. And again, make note, this is where you're going to see your quote free space being used up. So if I maybe was full and I wanted to then get rid of, um, I would delete things out of my library. There are 2 get started down here files of in terms of how to um, use Lumi with their directions that they show, as well as this second startup file that's available to you. So I hope that any of the educators or anyone doing anything with homeschooling can find this video helpful as school starts here in a short period of time. Hope everyone has a fantastic week.